Hi, Cleo here. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So at the start of this year, I made a goal to read 30 books. It's April 27th. I've only read 2 books. According to my Goodreads goals, that makes me 7 books behind schedule. So I'll be attempting to catch up with my Goodreads goal. I already have a short list of the 5 books I'm going to be reading in this video. I only have 4 on hand for now though. I need to get the last one. It's called The List by Yomi Adegoke. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name right, and honestly it would be a bit embarrassing being Nigerian and not being able to pronounce a Yoruba last name. Anyway, I'm currently reading Yellowface. I've been reading it for maybe 2 months now. I don't know why I haven't finished it just yet. I think it's kind of like a sort of unintentional delay of gratification situation because I absolutely love this book. It is so good. I don't know why it took me so long to read it. Maybe it's because it's one of those books that you look at the cover and you don't get a lot of context. You're like, okay, Yellowface, what exactly is this book about when in terms Yellowface, if you know what I mean. I picked it up because I've been seeing it everywhere, and I'm glad I did because oh my god, I have never met a character as audacious as June before. She always has some way to justify her actions. I'm on page 242 and the book has about 320 pages. I have less than 100 pages to go, so I'm gonna finish this fast. Then I'll either start with Redeeming Love. I have read this book already before when I was in secondary school. I was talking about it with my friend the other day, and okay, that's a lie. I was talking about it with my friend like last year. I was like, okay, I remember that book and I really liked that book. I think it made me cry a bit last time I read it. So after Yellowface, I'll either read Redeeming Love or A Sea of Wolves. I like fairy tale retellings sometimes. Would this be one of those times I like it? I don't know. So I picked it up to see. We have got A Little Life. This is most likely the last book I'm going to try to read. I will like start the list before I pick up this one because are you seeing how huge that is? And the fonts are insanely tiny. It's literally 720 pages. I don't think I've picked up a book this big before. My best friend just finished it. I got the book before her. She started reading it before me. She's done with it now and I haven't started. So yeah. There's gonna be a 6th book for Human News. I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers and she went to this bookshop and it was one of the books she kind of just picked up and browsed through about humans using a dating site, but the people on the dating sites are corpses. So I was like, okay, that is a very unorthodox book. Went to my local Waterstones the other day and they were like, actually they don't have it because the author hasn't like published it in the UK just yet. I was talking to a work friend and apparently it's on Amazon. I don't know why I didn't check, but it is on Amazon, so I might get it from there. I might not, honestly, it kind of depends. If I give it maybe a year or 2 and it doesn't get published in the UK, maybe then I'll get it on Amazon, maybe. Honestly, I don't get why June can't pivot from like Chinese and Asian stories. I feel like I'm gonna make a lot of comments before I finish, so I need to say what the book is about. The book follows a struggling author, June Hayward. She's friends with a very popular author, Athena Liu, who died. She had just finished writing a book about World War I called The Last Front. June stole that book. She said she took it just to read, but there were so many missing parts and she just couldn't edit it. And she edited the book and decided that, well, she has edited most of the book, might as well be her work now, and she published it. Got a lot of money. She only felt bad once when an old Chinese man was like, thank you so much for telling our stories, and she felt uncomfortable and left. That was the right time to kind of, you know, come and say, oh guys, actually I kind of took this book from Athena, but I mean I kind of edited it. We could you guys could make us like co-authors or something. But no, she claimed it as her own. Athena did a writing kind of seminar, I guess, with some students, and there was an outline they used. She took the outline, used it word for word in the first paragraph of her next book. She wrote the rest of the book herself. Fine. The company she's with needs her to bring a new book because from the 2 books she has brought out, there have been allegations of her stealing. She somehow has just gotten captivated of writing about tiny stories when that wasn't what she was writing to start with. And now that she's got fame, she everything seems a bit not good enough to her. I feel like if she just goes back to her original, what she used to write, even if her fame kind of dies down, I mean, she has enough money to live for the next like 5, 10, 15 years anyway. try to leave now with your dignity, you know? Does that make any sense? I feel like that made no sense. I've just finished Yellow Face, and genuinely all I can say is wow. Literally wow. Okay, now that I've finished it, I can actually like talk about the book properly. We have our main character, Juniper Song Hayward. She has a friend, Athena Liu. I've always put friend in quotation, but I think I would take friend out of quotation right now, but because she genuinely thought of her as a friend. Things just happened, like life just happened, and she got really jealous of her, which I guess happens. It happens sometimes, and the best thing she could have done in that situation was remove herself from being friends with Athena. But she kept being friends with Athena. That jealousy bubbled. Athena died, and she took her draft with the intention of just reading it. She edited it, she published it, published another book with a little help from Athena as well. She got dragged online by so many people saying she stole the book, which she did, but she never admitted it until the end because she thought she was confessing to Athena. She thought who she was talking to was Athena's ghost, or Athena herself, who didn't die, which I think was low-key kind of low though, because she saw Athena die in front of her. She saw Athena choke on a pancake and die, and then she's saying, okay, maybe she faked her death. In my opinion, that was a very low thing for her to think. But the only time she confessed was because she thought she was talking to Athena. She thought she was saying sorry to Athena, which makes me really think she did think Athena was a friend. That was the only thing I didn't like. I wanted June to confess herself. I wanted her to go out and say, I stole the book. But the fact is, she was never going to do that. Because if she did, she would lose everything. I think that's what makes it very realistic, especially with the way the ending was. I thought, okay, she would confess, she would lose everything, she would get a job and live her normal life. But she did confess to the fake Athena, who wrote a memoir with the situation. And then June decided, you know what, I'm not going to go down. You are going to go down, actually. And she's already planning how to write a new memoir saying she's not the villain and she's the hero, and everybody's just trying to bring her down. This world that only favors diversity and not white people, which is, I mean, sort of a crazy take. Anyway, Yellow Face, after 2 months, 3 months, maybe 3 months, I actually can't remember, I am finally done with Yellow Face and I can pick up another book. I don't know which to pick. A Sea of Wolves has larger fonts than Redeeming Love. How many pages? Redeeming Love is 447, and A Sea of Wolves is... does it not have page numbers? That can't be true. Oh, okay. It's a preview of another book behind it. Okay, A Sea of Wolves is 319. I think I'm gonna start with A Sea of Wolves. Some of the books I know I'm definitely gonna finish quickly, so I can actually pick up the ones with tinier fonts and longer pages. So I'm currently on the floor. I don't know if I'm really vibing with this angle though, but it's fine. I haven't made a reading update since like 2 days ago. I said I was either gonna start Redeeming Love or A Sea of Wolves. So I started A Sea of Wolves and I wasn't really vibing with chapter 1. I feel like the author kept over describing things. I don't know if there's such a thing as over describing things. How the sea was calling to Mersey, I think that's how you pronounce the name. How the sea was calling to her. I said that like 3 times, talking about her red cloak like 2 times, which I get it. I mean, she's Little Red Riding Hood. You have to talk about a red cloak, so okay, we can ignore that part. So I put it down and picked up the list instead. The book is shared into 4 parts. I'm done with part 1. I messed up. I went to read some Goodreads reviews before I started the book, and I saw a lot of 1-2 star reviews saying the book was really bad. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. At this point, it feels like a 3.5 because the pacing feels very, very slow. I know I'm like 80 something pages in, but I haven't really formed if I like or don't like characters yet. So the main character, Ola, I feel like she's trying to run away from the situation. I don't know if I really like her doing that. On the other hand, there's Michael, her fiance. He keeps going on about how he's a good guy and he would never do that. She knows him, and he's such a good guy. My camera stopped recording and I didn't realize. Yeah, anyway, him continuously going on about how he's a good guy and she's a good girl and they're a good couple. It's kind of making the word good lose its meaning in this situation. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly. I don't know if it makes sense. She just really wants him to prove he didn't do anything. And he keeps being, oh, you know me. I feel like when you're accused of something like that publicly, just being, oh, you know me, I haven't hit you before, I haven't fought with you before, I haven't yelled at you before, isn't good enough. Sure, you haven't hit or yelled at her or abused her, doesn't mean you couldn't have done it previously. And he's trying to, because he was accused of harassment and physical assault at her office Christmas party, and he's trying to just like really anchor on the fact that he hasn't actually worked at the office that had the Christmas party, and that is kind of like the anchor of, oh, he didn't do it. He did say he is hiding something from her. There's somebody he talks to, like when they argue or when they're in a tough spot in their relationship, that there is someone he talks to. He talked to one of his friends about, and they told him that's basically emotional cheating. And I was like, there's no such thing. There is definitely such a thing. And even if he isn't an abuser and the wedding doesn't get called off because of that, it would definitely be called off because he had physically cheated on her before and now he's emotionally cheating. I don't think that's a good attribute at all. As we're out right now, I did want to give A Sea of Wolves a chance again, so I took it to work with me. I was able to read 3 more chapters. I don't really like how every chapter is a switch in POV at this point. Maybe I'll like it later. I am quite interested in it now because from the pirate's POV, they happen to be cursed. Yeah, so I think I don't know yet. The author is just leaving little sprinkles of details of the situation here and there, but I think they have a 300-year curse on them. 350-year curse on them. Sebastian, Aaron, and Gold have a 350-year curse on them. I think they're meant to find love and then the curse is lifted unless they turn to stone. I don't know if it's all of them that has to find love or if just one person finds love. I really don't know the technicalities of it yet, but that seems like a very interesting curse and I want to know why they're cursed. So that's really interesting me right now. What I kind of find low-key cringe is Sebastian, the captain of the ship. He has the nickname the Heartless King. Everyone keeps saying the Heartless King, the Heartless King, and I don't really vibe with that nickname. I don't really like it. So I think Sea of Wolves is gonna be my workbook for now because I'm working the next like 3 full days. So it's gonna be my workbook and I'm gonna be reading this at home, and when I'm done with this I'll be reading this at home as well. I haven't done an update in quite a few days now, and that's because I've had this headache every day for the past week. Like, it comes and goes. At this point, I have no idea what the reason is. I don't have a headache anymore. I've not had it since last night, which is great. Fingers crossed I don't have it anymore. I am on page 340 of the list. I have 27 pages more. I'm just going to say here before I finish the book, I can't believe she married him. Like, I genuinely can't believe she actually went through with the wedding. My mom saw the book in my room and she was like, oh, what book is this? She read it and I was talking to her about it and I was like, she might as well just cancel the wedding. And she was like, she could always get a divorce. A divorce is not a bad thing. Which, yeah, a divorce is not a bad thing. But I don't know, I feel like cancelling the engagement or cancelling the wedding will be easier than the divorce. Because at the end of the day, so you're going to need the deposits on the venue, the like food and everything. So it might as well just lose that and not go through the wedding than go through the wedding and then divorce. Even if you lose the money and you decide, okay, actually I want to get married to this guy, you could always do that again. Maybe I'm just looking at it through a very kaleidoscopic lens, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this book today. I'm on page, like I said, 340. I have 27 pages left. So with regards to A Sea of Wolves, I am not too far through this book, if I'm being honest. I'm on page 94 because it's, like I said, it's my workbook. I read it in between calls, or I read as much pages as I can in between calls. I have been working a lot of weekends recently, and even the weekdays I work have been very busy. So I'm able to maybe read like 10 pages in the first 2 hours, and after that I'm not able to pick up the book at all. And that's why I'm still on page 94. I will leave it as my workbook though, so when I finish the list, I will still leave this as my workbook. And I'll be reading Redeeming Love outside of work. Unrelated, but I found this bookmark I got at a book sale in sixth form. I completely forgot I had it. I absolutely love it. It says I'm fully booked and it has this cute purple tassel. I also have this tiny one Hold on while I find it. I have this tiny one as well. So I didn't actually buy it. The book I got on the book sale was Love on the Brain, and I was scrolling through the pages and this just fell out. I didn't really know the girl that I got the book from, so I didn't know if she left it in there on purpose or not. I don't think I ever saw her in sixth form after that day, and I wasn't able to ask about it, so I just have this really cute book. So I already filmed this part yesterday, or at least I thought I filmed it yesterday. I had my suspicions that I wasn't actually recording, but when I looked at my phone, I saw like a 7-minute video and I assumed it was the one. No, it was the one I did before that. I don't remember most of what I said. Probably not important anyway. So, oh well. I am completely done with the list. It was gonna be a 3.5 book, but then I got to the end. I was like, yeah, no, this I'm gonna have to give this 2.5 stars because it just ended up being a kind of plot I didn't like. Hi, editor Cleo here. At the time, I didn't really have the words to kind of describe why I dropped it down from 3.5 to 2.5 stars. Basically, the end of the book made it clear that the entire thing was just a series of unfortunate events because of chasing someone who basically takes you for granted. And I don't like things like that. They just really annoy me. Okay, resume scheduled programming. Ola and Michael, main characters. Michael cheated on Ola with Jackie. Jackie had a boyfriend. Jackie's boyfriend found out that she and Michael were talking again. The list started going around. Jackie's boyfriend was the one that put Michael on the list, saying he wanted to ruin his life. This will sound crazy to say, but I honestly would have liked it if it was Jackie who put him on the list herself, sort of taunting him for using her instead of her boyfriend putting him on the list and her completely oblivious to the situation. So this is one of the first books I've read that had like book club questions at the end of it. So sit down, book club is in session. Let's answer some questions, or rather I'm gonna answer some questions. So, oh, I think I just broke the spine of my book. Oh well, it doesn't matter. What did you think when you first read that Michael's name was on the list? I try to put myself in the shoes of characters as much as I can. If I was Ola, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation because it really then hits you that you haven't known your partner for that long. So you have no idea who they were before you. You only know what they've told you, what you've heard from friends. You don't know what's in their heart. You don't know what's going through their minds. It just you can't really say you know somebody, if that makes sense. I don't even answer that question right, but that's how I sort of feel of the situation. Did you feel more sympathetic to Ola or to Michael, and did that change as the book went on? I felt more sympathetic to Ola, and that changed because I started having sympathy for nobody. Yeah, that sounds very harsh, but I started having sympathy for none of them because Ola, I understand, Ola was shaken at first. Like, imagine opening Twitter and seeing your fiance's name on the list tagged as an abuser, a harasser, and has a restraining order against them. You would, I don't know what to do, you'd be totally freaked out. That initial reaction is very understandable, but as time went on, or as the month went on, she wasn't making any decisions with the wedding. She was just letting time pass, so she wasn't cancelling it or postponing it or anything. She wasn't talking to Michael. Got a private investigator who found nothing in that entire month, and when they found nothing, she didn't even ask Michael more questions. And with the kind of job she had, when things like this normally break out, she's on the front lines writing about it, and now she's trying to hide it. She was just coasting along. She wasn't yes, she wasn't no, and anytime she got some external advice or she talked to someone else, like her friends from work or her childhood friends, and they kind of give an opinion and it's not what she wants to hear, she becomes very defensive, which I get is a very, very tough situation to be in, to say be yes or no. But from the values she presented at the start, or the values that were outlined for her as the book went on, she didn't stick to them. And I'm like, what's the point of having values if you're not gonna stick to them? Maybe I'm doing that very, very harshly, or maybe I'm just looking at this from, like I said, a kaleidoscopic lens. But that's just how I feel about it. They're like 15 questions. I don't think I want to go through all 15 questions. Let me see. Oh, this one. Do you think the ability to be anonymous online is a good or bad thing? I think it's a good and a bad thing. Most things that are good almost always have an opposing bad to it. In one sense, if you don't want to put your private information online or you don't want to put things about yourself online, that's completely fine. You can be anonymous. Protect yourself. But on the flip side, you can be an anonymous troll. So you're hiding under a fake name and attacking somebody most of the time when you don't even have the complete information, and that is not a very good way to use anonymity online. So I feel like it's one of those things that is good and has a bad side to it as well. I feel like I've just been rambling on. I probably did not answer these questions properly. Oh well, oh well. It makes sense in my head. I started Redeeming Love last night. I've only read 40 pages, so just a prologue to the story. And I don't know if I want to read it again. Not because it's a bad book, but because I know like it's very gut-wrenching. The first 40 pages, Sarah, 7 years old, is a child of an affair. Her father does not want her, and her mother, in order for her to get the love that she was getting from him, she sort of gets Sarah out of the way. Remember when I said one of my goals in this video was to finish 3 books? At this rate, it's not looking like I'm gonna finish the 3rd book in this video. I have finished 2.5. So granted, I was already reading Yellowface before, but I finished it during the video. I read the entirety of the list, and I'm quarterways done of A Sea of Wolves. So I'm not gonna finish A Sea of Wolves now. I think I'm gonna end the video here. This video has achieved its main goals, which is pushing me to read more than I have in the last 3 weeks than I have since the start of the year. Although I'm not finishing 3 books, I would say mission accomplished. I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for listening to me just talk and talk and talk on and on and on about the books I've been reading. And if you have any book recommendations, I would love to hear them. I'm very interested in thriller and fantasy, but honestly, I would read anything. So just drop your recommendations in the comments, and I'll see you next time. It's April 20 something. What's the date? That I'm doing it again. I already have a short list of the 5 books I'm gonna read you. Oh, my light died. I saw this thing. I remember I bought this book. I bought kimchi that day because I wanted to make kimchi fried rice. You can read through the, what do you call it? The values she started. We and